Let's talk about it.
Hello, and welcome back to Thicc Radio, the podcast where we talk about gaining, fetism, and everything in its orbit. I'm James.
And I'm Tim, so let's get into it.
Tim?
Yes.
Happy anniversary, babe!
Happy anniversary to you.
Oh my god, I can't believe it! Everybody, this is our Season 3 launch.
Season 3.
Season 3.
You know, it's so weird to be saying that because, like, I know that we've been doing this for 3 seasons now. Why does it feel like we've been doing it for a lot longer, and yet simultaneously, like, we just started?
You know, I think that speaks to the joy that we experience when we do this, because I know I say this to you a lot, and obviously listeners, you'll know I'm obviously passionate about this show, this program. But seriously, like, this is so much fucking fun to do. I look forward to this in my calendar every goddamn week, you know, when it comes out and I get to listen back to it, when we're recording with people, even when I'm editing and doing all the random shit in the background. It's so nice just to have this hum of, like, gaining thought, just, like, running through my week, through my life, and through the last 3 years of my life. So truly, this has been lovely. Hi. How are you today?
You know, this podcast, you know, being a labor of love, has been a wonderful distraction from the cesspit that is my work life, because that's not going to improve anytime soon. So, you know, being able to escape from that and talk to you and create this product has been, you know, like I said, I can't believe that we're already here at season 3 when I feel like we just started talking to each other, you know, and yet I feel like I've known you forever.
You know, I think this podcast is listening back to it, and I'll say this as a bit of a selfish indulgence here for the listeners. You know, this is really a kind of diary of Tim and I's friendship, really.
Yes.
We started talking and connecting purely for the sake of doing a podcast together, because, you know, we've told the story before. Tim was doing one, I wanted to do one, we came together, we were like, great, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be co-workers, it's going to be great. And then we just became best friends, and this is really nice.
And thank God, because I'll be completely honest with you, like, if our friendship hadn't gelled the way that it did, like if we hadn't become this close, I don't know if I could carry on and be like, you know, like I'm afraid that if we weren't friends, I would start to look at it like a chore, you know?
You know, I don't disagree. And it's funny thinking about that, because I don't think, in my mind, like when we started, I don't think I would have thought we needed that, because I would have thought, oh, surely the conversation will carry us. And I do think it does, you know, like, it's obviously what we're here to do. We're here to talk and we're here to share and learn from other people. But I kind of feel like it's this friendship that really makes me look forward to this.
Yeah.
So,
because otherwise it would just be sort of an obligation, and, like, you know, come on, how many people, like, jump at their obligations?
No, that's very true. As a type A, I don't know anyone who likes to get a head start on chores or lists and likes to cross things off. I don't know anyone who's...
Just you, sweetie. Just you.
I'm the only true type A here. Thank you very much. But listen, as is the typical for these types of episodes, this is just going to be a bit of a chill day today, kids. We're just going to go through some stats. And this is kind of exciting because we do everything through Anchor, which is now called Spotify for podcasters. It runs stats for people who produce podcasts. So this is an opportunity for us to actually see the growth, like the listenership and what y'all are thinking, you know.
Our little show has gotten fatter.
And it has in every dimension, bitch. So before we get started, let me, of course, remind you, as much as we read out these stats and love to see, you know, the listenership progression and all that through the numbers, nothing will ever beat a lovely little email that you could send to us at thiccradio@gmail.com with your thoughts and feelings. If you have ideas for episodes, if you would like to potentially be on the podcast and we could set up a call to chat to you, reach out to us. Have a conversation. It would be wonderful to grow the number of people who listen and the types of people that participate in this wonderful program. So, let's get it started, shall we? So, as of the end of season 1, we had an estimated 14,000 total listens. Do you want to take a guess at what our total listens is for the end of season 2 / start of season 3?
I'm going to guess that we've at least doubled.
We have at least doubled. Doubling would put us at 28. We're actually on 33,000. So we have more than doubled in 1 year the total listens for all of our episodes, which is phenomenal stuff. In terms of platforms, so we have always been across a wide range. This really picked up in season 1 as Anchor started to put us across multiple platforms. As of now, we are also on Audible, which is kind of exciting. Like, that's kind of one of the last major podcasting sites that we weren't on, and
I think I was the one who pointed that out to you the day because I use Audible for listening to audiobooks, and I was I was goofing around to see, like, oh gee, wouldn't it be cool if, and I typed in Thicc Radio. I was like, holy shit, girl, we're on Audible.
We're on Audible. You're Audible, girl. You're Audible. So we're across it, girl. And listeners, if you know of any platforms out there that we're not on that we need to manually apply for, let us know, because I'll send in an application. I don't give a shit. We'll conquer the internet one download at a mother tucking time. Next is actually going to be the listener countries, and obviously we did this last season. There was quite an exciting list. Tim, would you like to read out the list of places that we have been in and the places that we are now in?
Yes, and it is going to be something of a long list, so just prepare yourself. Okay, so we are in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, Germany, Ireland, Switzerland, New Zealand, the Netherlands, Chile, Mexico, Luxembourg, Sweden, France, Brazil, Spain, Austria, Belgium, Portugal, Finland, Puerto Rico, Singapore, Poland, the Philippines, Russia, Ecuador, South Africa, the Ukraine, Israel, Romania, Norway, the Czech Republic, Malaysia, Iceland, Italy, Paraguay, the United Arab Emirates, India, Benin, Indonesia, Turkey, Denmark, Croatia, Morocco, South Korea, Lithuania, Sri Lanka, Argentina, Cyprus, Greece, Panama, the Republic of Lithuania, Latvia, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Taiwan, Kuwait, the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, Kenya, Colombia, and Bahrain. And we have some new countries to add to that. We are now also in Japan, Hungary, Honduras, Thailand, Slovakia, Uruguay, Antigua and Barbuda, Peru, Qatar, the Republic of Moldova, Costa Rica, Madagascar, Algeria, Bangladesh, Palestine, and Bulgaria.
My God. Okay, so for anyone who wasn't doing the counting there, that brings our total up from 61 countries to 77 in total, which places us at well over a third of all the countries on the planet, nearing half, which is kind of crazy and exciting. So Have
Who
at
knew?
it, kids. We are
Who knew?
across just about every continent and sub-region that I know that there is. There's at least one listener out there representing all over the world. So, as I'm pretty sure we would have said last year, we're always looking to do culture eps from listeners, from people all over the world. So please write into us at thiccradio@gmail.com. We'd love to have you on the program to talk about your experiences as a gainer, as a member of the community, in your little slice of heaven, no matter where you are on Earth. In terms of genders, right? So gender breakdown, as at the start of season 2, we were looking at 90% male. That's actually gone down a little bit to 87.7% male. We were at 5% female. We're now up to 8% female. So our female listenership has grown. Welcome, ladies. So lovely to have you here. We were on 1% non-binary. We're now at 2% non-binary. Our non-binary NB friends, welcome. And then non-specified has gone down from 3 to 2.2% non-specified. So there you go, people. There's a slight shift in the balance. We've got more ladies with us, more queer folk with us. It's an exciting time. Now, looking at the ages. Now, last year we were at 2% people listening under the age of 17 at the start of season 3. We're still on 2%. We were on 25% listenership between 18 and 22. We're down to 17%. We were on 31%, 23 to 27. We've actually gone up a little bit, 33%, 23 to 27. Similarly, we were on 30%, 28 to 34. We've gone up to 33%, 28 to 34. 35 to 44 is both at 12%. 45 to 59 was on 2%, has gone up to 3%. And 60 plus is still at 0%. So again, some slight movement around there at the ages, mostly that sort of early 20s to mid 30s kind of being the main bulk of our listenership there, which is quite exciting. But as always, we're looking for older guests as well. So anyone who knows anyone who might be interested, who's a little bit more of an established age, let's say 40 plus, you know where to find us. Now, Tim, stepping away from the stats for a hot moment here, I want to ask you, what can listeners expect to be different about this season?
Well, you and I, we sat down, and one thing that I think is going to be different is kind of we've developed a better organization and category system for putting out episodes. So it's going to be a little bit more formulaic than it had been in the past, which really helped us sort out just mapping out an entire season. You know, like I was really amazed at how efficiently you organize everything. So it's like we just know we are completely and totally on top of what is supposed to be being done. I think there's also going to be more dinner table talks this season. There's going to be a lot more like round table discussions.
Yes, absolutely. We had the pleasure in season 2, and we did talk about this actually, you know, the start of season 2, we wanted to do dinner table talks. We were nervous because we had no idea how they were going to go, and we've had the chance now to do a couple. In fact, last week's episode, we finished on a round table, kids. So, you know, I think the more we do them, the more interesting they become, and the more you'll listen and then come on for the round table, you'll get into that sense of it really is just an opportunity to have more people talking about the same subject, sharing opinions, asking each other questions, you know. I think that's actually quite interesting, and just something that a typical episode that we do doesn't really offer people the opportunity to do typically. So that's been really fun to launch through season 2 and to make more consistent in season 3. Same thing with Straight Talk. That's something to be introduced, the opportunity to have some heterosexual people, women as well, introduce their perspectives, and we'd love to have a lot more of that for season 3. So once again, and
yes, please.
Speaking to our 8% female listenership, baby girls, please come and join us on this program. We've been reaching out to people who online look like they might have something to say. We're not necessarily getting a lot of response at the moment, you know. So come on, just come on and join us. Reach out to us at thiccradio@gmail.com and let's have a chat. Let's have a conversation. We'd love to have you on, you know? I think certainly for season three, things that could also be different is more things like reviews and more things as well. I think that show maybe some different like professional perspectives.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, that we can definitely get some like maybe some medical professionals who are gainers. Just
Hmm.
slightly. I think that would be fantastic to actually have like, can you imagine if we got to have like a doctor on and actually be like a fat fucking doctor?
Yeah.
It's like
I'd be very, very curious to pick their brain about like, how does this work for you?
all that stuff. So come on, y'all are out there, medical professionals. We know you're listening. You know you love us. Come and join us. Come be on the show. So I think there's a lot of excitement coming for season three, a lot more diverse perspective. And like you said, with the restructuring, we want to get more diversity of episodes through the can every season so that we're always covering culture episodes and reviews and straight perspectives because the fetus community has its own stuff going on. We want to represent for fetus as well. We talk about it, we talk about gaining fetism and everything in its orbit. We need fetists. We need
Yeah.
fetists. So come join us. Um, this stuff is just so exciting to me. Like, I'll ask you this:
Mhm.
where do you want to see the podcast by the time we hit season four?
God, I don't know, honestly. I'm hoping that by then, we're just doing more, maybe on another platform as well. Like,
Hmm.
maybe we have managed to finally branch into video production of some kind. I'm not sure. Yeah, I want it. I want to see it continue to grow. Obviously, you know. So I don't know what paths that's going to lead us down, but I'm really excited to find out.
Hmm.
Because if you had told me that we were going to be sitting where we are from last season, I tend to be a skeptic. I tend to be like, people are going to lose interest. There's only so far the audience can go, and I was just amazed to see how far the audience actually has gone. That there are people that are obviously completely outside of this world that are listening to you and I talk, and they keep coming back. So we've clearly made an impact, not just in the community, but outside of it as well.
Hmm. No, I agree. Like, it's quite something to reflect on growth, both like as gainers, but also like where we've been at a time. And to see the response from people as time goes on. It is quite something. So, I mean, that's great. I love that. I love us. Let me ask you this. Um, season two, I feel like the theme was mentorship.
Yes,
And I feel like season one, the theme
was
was
managing expectations.
managing expectations. Do you suspect there will be and to be clear here, these were not themes that we like planned.
They were just sort of things that emerged. I would like to see the theme of activism merge from this coming season. I'd like people to be as involved as obviously as involved as you feel comfortable, but I want to see people taking chances.
Mm,
I want to see people, even if it's something as simple as mentioning to your friends that you listen to this, maybe somebody who's outside of the community, or you just, I don't know, you're more authentically open about who you are as a person. Like I want to see more people taking chances like that.
yeah. No, I love that. And I think that definitely aligns with how I've been feeling about a lot of things. Like when we first started this, there was so much trepidation, and we've always said with guests, and we'll say it here again and repeat, if you want to come on the show, but you don't want to show your face and you're careful about your identity and what names you use and pronouns and et cetera, that's totally at your discretion and we'll always respect that. For us, there's certainly something about like wanting just to see more gainers showing their face in the public. Like, yes, take your time, yes, be ready for it, but also just get out there and do it. Get on TikTok and jiggle your belly and do the fun memes, and become a viral sensation, and then let us interview you for being a gaining viral sensation on the internet and bringing gaining to the mainstream. At least it's you and not fucking Nikocado Avocado. Do you
We're
know what I
never going to
mean?
cut him any slack, are we?
Well, speaking of cutting him something, the boy looks like he's dropped a couple of pounds.
How has he gone on a weight loss journey recently? I
I
I have not followed anything that he's done, so I
No,
have
he
no
just
idea.
comes up on every suggested page, obviously, and he just doesn't look as round in the
Oh,
face.
well, I don't know. I was never into his style of humor or video production, so never watched him.
Well, listen, I want to ask you this. What advice do you have for Tim for season 3 of this show?
If I can be completely honest, the advice I needed to give to Tim is you need to do more because James does too much. And I don't mind admitting it to the listenership that James is the heart of this show because he does put in significantly more work than I do. But I am changing that. I am challenging myself to be more involved in. I've taken on a couple of things on my own that will launch this season. So
Yes, things that aren't necessarily Thicc Radio podcasts, shall
yes.
we say. So maybe you all should be subscribed to our Instagram, which is also making a return this season, because we have decided that people haven't hated us enough on TikTok. So we're coming back. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, we just wanted to come back to Instagram because I kind of miss the engagement, and I think it's nice to kind of continue to stay in touch with people through that forum. And to be fair, we did used to get people who would write to us through the gram and want to be a part of the podcast, who would reach out that way. So you know what? We're bringing it back, people. We're bringing it back. Season 3, the gram is back. And like I said, we're going to be broadcasting something that is not Thicc Radio podcast season 3. So just keep an eye out for that. Just have a gander. Just have a look through the social medias, just what might be going about with that one there.
So, James, what advice would you have given to yourself when it comes to this new season?
Advice that I would give to myself. I would say the advice is to breathe. I feel, and this is me challenging myself on this, listeners, you may agree, you may disagree, I don't know. I feel like there are certain episodes where I can probably listen back to it and think, I was in presenter mode. I was in the mode of someone who wanted to ask all the right questions and I didn't want to miss anything out. And I always needed to make sure that everybody knew where I stood on certain things. And I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. But I know that there are episodes I listen back to and I don't necessarily feel I'm sitting in my authenticity, you might say. At least not fully. So that's going to be my challenge to myself on season 3. Be a little bit more laissez-faire, a little bit more laxadays when it comes to actually speaking on the pod. Less presentational, more human authentic. That's all.
So basically, you want us to swap personality traits.
Wouldn't that be camp if by the end of the season, like, you're the type A personality who's having to like whip me?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could ever be. If you've met my father, it would all make sense.
Well, that's that then.
It's every and the older I'm getting, the more people keep telling me I'm a lot like him.
That's fair. That's fair. Although, we're probably going to do, as a little announcement here, everyone, we're probably going to do a little special Thicc Radio episode July time this year as a special for Tim's 40th birthday, which is going to be quite exciting.
And you get to come back to America.
But I will be. I will be in America, and we're going to be doing this from Tim's secret party location, which is going to be all fun and exciting. And none of you are invited. No, just joking. Well, listen, kids, as always, with a welcome to season episode, we like to keep them nice and short because we're just here to chat stats and just touch base with you all. Welcome to season 3. But that's it for another week here on Thicc Radio. Please remember to like and subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and leave us a good review. If you like this episode, the podcast, or just us in general, share it with your friends and encourage them to tune in. You can find me on Instagram and beefyfrat at stannnum,
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Beefy Frat at Thicky Mouse. You can also look us up on Instagram and TikTok at Thicc Radio or at our website at www.podpage.com/Thicc Radio. If you want to submit a voice note, you can reach us at anchor.fm/Thicc Radio/message. And if you have any questions or ideas for episodes, you can reach us at thiccradio@gmail.com. So until next time, bye, Fats.
Bye, Fats.
Let's talk about it.
Thicc Radio is a Patreon and Anchor app podcast produced by stannnum and Thicky Mouse.
Mixed and mastered by stannnum.
Our artwork is provided by Lokitu.
Our theme song is provided by Body by Cream.